So I've now completed 8 weeks of PiYo, and I did enjoy the program a lot. It did take a little bit to get the routines. I do find that is pretty common with Chalene Johnson. She is a very quick-moving person, and that's actually why she developed PiYo, was because her traditional high-impact, high-energy workouts were causing her to repeatedly have minor injuries. And after speaking with a doctor, he explained to her it was because she wasn't doing enough flexibility work. She couldn't stay quiet enough, energy and vocally, in a yoga class. So she decided to develop PiYo so that she could have her flexibility back in a way that would work for her body and mentally without having to slow down. I definitely think that she obtained this goal. I had finished P90X3 prior to doing this program, and I was having a little bit more tightness than I'm used to and a little bit of joint pain from all the high impact. Although I absolutely loved the program, I knew that I needed to get some flexibility back into my body, and PiYo did just that. The hard part was that until you learned the routines, sometimes it was a little hard to get up, to keep up, because Chalene will switch in and out of a pose and not necessarily inform you every single time, just because she's chatty and talking about life while she's working out. And so some people, that's exactly what they need as a coach. So she's great for people who love that high energy, high pace. After a few weeks of working through PiYo and learning the routines, I did enjoy the program even more because I knew what was coming next. I didn't realize at first how much of a mindful practice this is. It is like yoga in the sense that you really need to think about your body as you're doing the program and not just work through the program. You won't get the benefits that you can from this routine unless you are thinking about how you're using your muscles, breathing into those areas. So it does have the same type of concept as a yoga program, but you're just moving at a little bit faster pace. Once I realized this, I did get much more intense workouts from PiYo because I was focusing so much on my alignment and tightening every portion of my body and breathing into areas of tension that I really did get some pretty great benefits from the program itself. That being said, someone should be made aware of this prior. I also will say that before doing their pre-video align, I really thought that I had good alignment when I was doing different moves, even such as lunges. It wasn't even necessarily a yoga move, and she really showed me that I didn't have the perfect alignment that I thought I had. As you guys have known from post and previous reviews, I've had sciatica problems my whole life, and the fact that this program really showed me how to move my body even more appropriately was a great benefit to my SI joint, and I had even fewer problems than I did with P90X3. As for my results, I didn't have too much change, although that being said, I know people who have lost several inches and pounds doing this program. Prior to doing PiYo, I had done a really extreme program and gotten my body fat and my numbers, where I pretty much wanted them to be. So the fact there wasn't much change from this program was not too much of a surprise. My body fat percent did go up. It went up 5%. It went from 13.5 to 19%. I'm totally okay with that. I'm going into muscle building programs now, and I need a higher body fat in order to put muscle on. So this was actually kind of a relief for me. And my guess is it isn't actually that the program made me, didn't give me the same results body fat wise. When I did P90X3, I did not follow the nutrition plan exactly as they wanted. I did with PiYo. I really focused on the nutrition plan. I loved it. It was very simply laid out. You were just told to eat a certain number of proteins, a certain number of primary vegetables, secondary vegetables, fruits, and grains and fats. And so it was real easy laid out. So I did stick to the program meal-wise. which I won't lie, made me eat a lot more than I was eating during P90X3, which is something that I did need to change in my diet. So I'm very pleased with that factor, and it's going to help me in the long run. Other than that, my thighs stayed the same, my arms stayed the same, my waist stayed the same, my chest went down 3/4 of an inch, and my hips went down 1/2 an inch. So there was some minor changes there, but nothing too major. And my weight stayed pretty much the same. It did go down 2 pounds, but, everyone fluctuates a little bit day to day, so I don't know how accurate that is. Overall, I would say do not skip alignment. It is very, very important and will really prevent any injuries, and it really explains the modifications. That was one thing that PiYo was supposed to be about, was having modifications for every level. I will say that the modifier is decent, but sometimes I think she could have modified even more. And my big complaint is she's not constantly on the screen, but that's pretty common for all workout videos, that they don't constantly show the modifier on the screen. If you watch alignment, it shows all the modifications. So even if she's not constantly showing what she's doing, you can remember them from doing alignment, which is why it's such an important thing, especially for someone who's new to fitness. I do think that this program is good for anyone from beginner to intermediate fitness, or someone who's doing extreme fitness but has lost that flexibility and is now getting joint pain because of it. So let's talk about the actual workout programs themselves. As I mentioned, I would not skip alignment. It is very important. It did come with 2 different calendar options, just the regular one, and then on the back there was a strength program, which was a little bit more intense of a routine. You did have to buy additional DVDs to do that program, so I just did the standard program. And I will say I'm not 100% sure that the calendar was as well designed as it was in P90X3. That being said, I was fairly fit when I started this program, so maybe for someone who is new to fitness, they would have been very pleased. But they would repeat programs twice in a week that I felt weren't intense enough for me, so that was a little bit of a struggle. So there is Define Lower. This is a 25-minute lower body workout that really is supposed to be focusing on your glutes, your hamstrings, and your calves. I did really enjoy it. It was very yoga-like, though. It was a lot of flowing in and out from warrior postures. So it was just like a flowing yoga practice, in my opinion. Define Upper Body was only 18 minutes, and this was probably the only the only routine in the program that I didn't really enjoy that much. Mostly just because it was essentially just a couple tricep push-ups and some core work, and I personally wanted it to be more intense. But again, for someone who's getting new into fitness, this actually probably was like a nice little rest day for them, where I actually ended up doing doubles on those days. Sweat, I did love. It was definitely a fast-paced cardio yoga flowing workout, which I know sounds really crazy, but that's what it is. You essentially were doing lunges that would flow in and out of warrior poses with a lot of balance, really making sure that you were working your core and getting your body heat up and you're working your cardio, and there was even sumo burpees in there, which I did really enjoy. Core was also really fun. This was one that I definitely had to focus on my body while doing the program, because of the factor that it's not like traditional crunches on the floor. It was a really, really fun core program that had you move in a dynamic way without using any traditional crunches. And it also focused on your entire core area, so it wasn't just your abs. It was also your glutes and your thighs, and I definitely really enjoyed core once I figured out to really concentrate on that area while I was doing the program itself. But it was fun and taught you a lot of unique moves that were really interesting. Strength intervals was a little bit of cardio. You did some light jogging in place, so you're burning a lot more calories than we normally did in the other workouts. There was a lot of lunges to squats and skater moves and flips and some upper body work. So it was pretty much like an all-over program where you're doing every part of your body and a good amount of cardio. I definitely will say that program made my thighs work to exhaustion, which is really important when you're trying to build muscle. And although my thigh numbers didn't change, I do feel overall they are a lot firmer after completing this program. Sculpt is also using your muscles under tension for different periods of time. This encourages your muscles to build in a way that will provide you endurance and helps you burn calories in a totally different way than you do with a traditional cardio workout. And again, it really made my legs burn out. There's a couple times that I really was swearing at Chalene because I wanted to get out of a lunge or a squat and she was yelling at us not to. Drench is the longest program that they provide, and it's 45 minutes, and it's kind of like sweat on steroids. I absolutely loved it, but it's definitely not for everyone. If you're a beginner workout, I've had a couple clients who tried to do it, and they were really like, wow, this is too much. So I reminded them to do what Tony says and do your best and forget the rest and not really worry too much about it. And some of them I even suggested that they swap it out with sweat until they built up that endurance, and then they could switch back to drench. It really focused on your legs and your core and opening up your hips a lot, and that's something that's very important to me with my sciatica issues, is to work on having my hip flexors really be functioning correctly. There was also a free DVD that came with the program if you bought it through a coach, and that was Hardcore on the Floor. Hardcore on the Floor was by far my favorite workout. It's probably one of the favorite workouts I've ever done. It is really intense. You're working your abs, your glutes, your legs, your arms, and everything's on the floor, which was very interesting to me. I was sweating very quickly into the program. It's 30 minutes, and 10 minutes in, I was, really covered with sweat. It was fast-paced. It wasn't so hard to follow that I didn't enjoy it. So overall, that was by far my favorite program that it came with. It also, no matter what site you order it from, you get a free program buns. This is really focusing on your glutes and the outside of your hips, which was really a nice thing. A lot of times they talk about doing squats and squats and squats to get really nice butts, and you do get nice butts from squats, but you have to work that outside muscle as well, and buns really did that for you. It was a very enjoyable program. So overall, I think a lot of people would really, really love this routine. I think someone who loves yoga would enjoy it. I think someone who can't focus in a yoga class but knows their body needs it would really enjoy this program. And I think someone who is either in the beginning fitness level or intermediate would find this program a perfect fit for them, because like I said, you can really change how intense the program is using the modifications, lunging differently. So overall, I was really pleased. I think it's a great program. And I probably won't commit to it again for 8 weeks like I had. And I know that you guys know I'm in love with P90X3 and it will come back into my routine a lot. But that being said, PiYo is something that I could definitely see myself doing throughout every single challenge that I'm working through. So for example, right now the new program I'm on is Body Beast. There's very little stretching in this, which I could really see causing a lot of problems with my sciatica. So on rest days or double days that I do, PiYo will definitely be one that's frequently coming into use to me throughout the next 3 months. So I hope this helps you decide if PiYo is the right program for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and ask. And I'm more than happy to help you in any way that I can, even if it's to let you come and try out the program before you buy. Thanks, and have a great day.